Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Donnell, or Dr. D, as everyone calls me. I am going to give you a very quick tour of your newly adapted D2L course, meaning that we have put your materials on D2L. When you open D2L, you will come to your home page, which is right in front of you, and this is what mine looks like. And then you will click on your Introduction to Theater course, and you're in the course home page, and I'm going to switch myself to a student view. Okay. You'll come to a course homepage for our course. So the main thing I want to show you is where things are. Okay. You know, you had Dr. Hanson showing you day to day where things were in the classroom. Now this is our classroom. Okay. Please notice that we have a number of things at the top of your menu. Course home, which is where you are, units, Dropbox, exams, discussions, grades, and class roll. If you have been in, which most of you have been in D2L shells, this probably looks a little different. I tried to set it up the way Dr. Hanson taught his class and the terms he used for all the items in your class. Okay, so we're looking at class roll, for instance. This is where you would use to see who is all in the class, okay, and your instructors. And if you wanted to email someone, you would click by their name here and then click email. And what that does, it pops up a compose new message. That will send an email within the course. You do the same thing for the staff, and the staff will come up and it will have Darren and I. Pay no attention to Mr. Gibson, that's the chair of our department. He's going to go away soon. Okay, all right. So that is the class roll. Then the next one coming in from the right side are grades. This is a drop down that has my grades and the grading rubrics. Okay, when you click on this, this will bring up only your grades. And if I click on this, and it will show my grades, which I have zeros on everything. Oh my God. Okay, so, and these are just the grades that we will be dealing with in the future, okay, not your past grades, okay, at this point. Then if you, and so that should show, you should be able to go down through here and see things. Also, what would be in here would be things, notes and things like that from us. There will be comments. All right. Now, the next thing are the grading rubrics, and these are just grade sheets that we use to grade your play response or your play quiz. That's the play quiz. You're doing Equus, Raisin, and Tartuffe. Okay, this is the grade sheet that we will use. You can pop it up and you can kind of preview it and you can see how it's all okay. This is not the marked one. This is to show so that you can look at beforehand or after you've been graded of what it needed to look like. Okay. All right. And then there is a discussion rubric. Okay. And the discussion rubric is one that is, we're going to have one discussion that you're going to participate in for the design tech chapters in the book. And so that is right here, and you can open it up and preview it. And it's not to be, if you haven't done discussion before, this is no big deal. This one is fairly simple and straightforward. Okay. Now, we'll go back up, and then we're going to look at discussions, and this would be where the discussion is. It's hidden right now because we're still working on those things, but it's not till later on. You've got a couple weeks or whatever, but we'll open it up very soon, okay? Then exams, this is where your unit exams are going to be. You had 2 left, and then the final exam. That's where these will be. Right now, there's nothing there, and these will be open as you get to them. And we'll talk more about what those exams will look like as we get closer to them. Then your Dropbox. The Dropbox is where you upload assignments. And if you click on that, you should be able to see your play quizzes. And remember, if you remember reading Dr. Hansen's notes, your play quizzes are now basically paragraph answer questions or long answer questions that he gave you, and those are the same ones. And if you were to open this up right here, you would see the instructions, and there's a video, kind of a brief intro, kind of warm you up, and then there's your questions, and then there is a copy of the grading rubric to remind you. Okay, here are the questions that he gave us, and so when you have that ready to go, then you will, and again, here's a copy of the rubric, okay, and then you will submit your assignment by going to Add File, and if any comments you want to give us, so that we can see them, and then you will Add File by clicking here, going to My Computer, Upload, and then you will find it on your computer and hit Open, Add, and then it should be uploaded, and then Submit. Okay. We don't have a limit on the number of times you want to submit it in case you messed up and you want to submit again, but of course there is a deadline and a time for that, and we tried to keep those to what Dr. Hansen wanted as well. Okay, so those are in here, and then also what will be in here is something will be where you upload the screenshots, and I can talk about that, screenshots from watching the recorded plays, the plays on video, especially for those people who did not see 6 degrees of separation. All right, now units. The units are set up so in the table of contents here, and the first part of the table of contents is where your syllabus is. This is the syllabus that has been revised. It is basically the rest of the semester. It's the COVID-19 revision, okay? We've lifted out the course calendar out of there. There's a course calendar in the syllabus, and there's a course calendar here. So you can just look at what that looks like for the rest of the semester, okay? You basically have deadlines each week, okay? So that's how you have to think about it from here on out. So because you're not meeting in the classroom, and all of your deadlines are at 10 p.m. on that night. So notice that even the final exam, we tried to be as consistent as possible so that it would cause less confusion. Now, table of contents, we're going back there. And some of the things that we're working on are still hidden, and so I wanted to make sure, all right, that it didn't confuse you. Now, you can come over to the side and click on this. This is play attendance and play watch. And as you recall, if you didn't, you had the option of seeing 6 Degrees or Alexander and the Terrible, Awful, Horrible Day, but Alexander, the show has been canceled. So in lieu of that canceled show, we are providing 2 recorded plays so that you may watch those, and those are through the MTSU library. Okay, now all the things that extra credit options and things like that that Dr. Hanson give you are still intact. But if you have any questions, let us know. Then the recorded plays to watch, and you have the choice of Medea by Euripides or A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. Okay, you can choose one of the 2 of the recorded plays below. Okay, and you watch it. After you've completed your first watch of the show, you'll need to review the play again to obtain the screenshots, and you do a screenshot on your desktop by hitting print screen. Okay, and that will give you a screenshot. Okay, now going on, after you have those, you have to have 3 screenshots. One screenshot is during the exposition of the play. Okay, now I'm not going to give you the definition of that. That's part of your assignment. And 1 screenshot during the climax of the play. Again, your assignment. Got to know the definition, and you got to find it in the play. Okay, in the performance of the play. And 1 shot during the falling action of the play. Okay, again, definition, find it in the show. Okay, screenshot. Those 3 screenshots have to be uploaded to the Dropbox. There will be a Dropbox there for you to upload it. Okay. Now, if you're doing this for extra credit, same thing applies. Okay, because it's a verification of you watching the play. Also, and as opposed to if you went to see 6 Degrees of Separation, remember you scanned your ID. Okay, so we know if you were there for the entire show. So, okay, it's only fair. Now we're going back to the table of contents. Okay. Now your play reading and quizzes. Okay, now at the top here, here's a little introduction. It's the same thing. Now remember Death Trap, you have 3 remaining quizzes on the assigned play scripts. Death Trap was due before the spring break. Okay. So, and remember you had 4 altogether. 1, the lowest one will be dropped. Okay. All right, so what you have here, you have Equus, which this is pulling in from the Dropbox. And what you do to go to the Dropbox is you click here, and then that takes you right to the Dropbox. Okay, so there's 2 ways for you to see this. All right, now I'm going to go back here, pull this up. Pull this up. Notice the little arrows, and I'm pulling them up. Well, that opens them up. If they are pointed to the right side, they're not open. Click on them. The arrow points down. It is expanded. Okay. Collapse, expanded. Okay. The next thing is your Unit 4, which is your next unit, even though it's out of sync. And this is what Dr. Hansen wanted to do, is to flip these. So you're going to do Unit 4 before you do Unit 3. Okay, and he said that's not a typo. I remember reading that. Okay, so we're going to open that, and it is about the 3 chapters that you read, or chapter 6, 7, and 8 in the Wilson textbook. Now, this is about the playwright and the play. You need to read all 3 chapters and in the textbook, and then watch the following 3 videos about playwrights. Okay. So this is in lieu of your lecture time. So this is what the Unit 4 exam will be over. All right. Now your unit, you have another unit coming up, which is, remember, out of sync, which would be the Unit 3, which is about performers. That one will be coming up very soon. We'll have that out, and we'll also have the Design Tech one out as well. Okay, they're just hidden right now as we work. All right, so I'm going to close that down, and we're going to go back up. All right, if you have any questions at any time, email myself or Darren, and we will help you. We will do whatever we can to make this an easy transition onto D2L, and with us as the instructors. And we so much regret that you are now online and that we have lost Dr. Hansen. Okay. All right. Thank you, and I will talk to you soon.